Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, all, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this fortnight's installment of the IshPlusSix Podcast, the podcast series where you could discover your next favorite artist. On today's episode, I am joined by the one and only Flexo Kobain. Flexo Kobain is a North London-based artist and producer who has been on the rise for a few years now, producing tracks for a long list of artists and releasing 3 amazing Plug and B albums with even more to come. As his producer persona Egyptian, he recently released his 7th project, Blood in the Sand, which you all need to make sure you go and check out. Please welcome Flexo Kobain to the IshPlusSix Podcast. How's it going, Flexo? What's up, man?
Yeah, good, man. You telling me, Brody? How are you?
I'm living, man, for real. I'm living, I'm chilling, I'm here, man, honestly. I'm enjoying this Monday evening, you know the vibes. Tell me though, you're coming to us from where? Where are you coming to us from?
I reside in London, but I'm based in Northwest London, so Camden to be exact. But I grew up I was born in South, grew up a little bit there when I was a kid, but definitely Northwest, pretty much my whole life. So I'm claiming Northwest 100%.
South, Northwest, yeah. Claiming Northwest. You know what? That could get you into trouble depending on who you say that to. So it's
I
like.
hear that. I hear that. Nah,
But yeah, that's cool though, for real, man. That's cool. Okay, before we get into you've seen every single episode. You've seen a couple of episodes. Before we get into the main questions, you know that we always start off with a joke. I'm in too deep, blah blah blah. Let's just get it out of the way, and then we'll get into the main questions.
Sure.
Why did the cows stop smoking weed? Why did they stop smoking weed, Flexo?
I'm not sure, you know.
The stakes got too high.
The stakes got too high. That's a decent one still.
Do you know what, honestly, when I wrote this one down, I was a little bit gassed because I was like, yo, this one's actually kind of hard still.
It's not bad still. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not better than the other ones I've heard on the channel.
To be fair, yeah, exactly. The other ones are pretty dead. All right, so we'll get into the main questions now. I want to talk a little bit about the origin story. I know that I want to make sure that I'm pronouncing the name right. It's Flexo Kobain, isn't it?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about the origin story, where the name came from. I know you used to go by something like Flexo Flamingo or something like that in the past. Talk to me about the name Flexo Kobain and where that came from.
So the name Flexo Kobain derived from another name, which is, you're correct indeed, which is Flamingo Flex. So yeah, around like the 2015 era of underground music, you know, it was really colorful back then. You know, we had Plug and B coming up, we had a lot of alternative trap coming up, and a lot of artists like Playboy Carti, Yachty were blowing up, and I was in university like recording, making music, with like a USB microphone, and the name I had at the time was Flamingo Flex. How I got that name, I can't remember, but yeah, I just remember, I think my boy said, "Oh yeah, bro, your ad libs are like so colorful, so Flamingo Flex." But at the time, the name worked because of the scene around us. You know, we had we had names like Little Yachty, we had Space Ghost Perp, and all these random names, ASAP Rocky with a $sign and stuff like that. Yeah. So it was normal. That type of name was kind of normal. We had Lil Pump and Smoke Purp as well, bro. So it was normal. But then I think around 2018, 2019, I basically took the Flex from that name, and I took Flex, changed it to Flexo because people started calling me Flexo for short. And then I just wanted to find another inspiration, something that would resemble what I'm chasing and what my, you know, main goal is in music. And it was definitely being influenced a lot by Kurt Cobain himself and Nirvana themselves, and just the essence of wanting to be my own rockstar, be my own cool fucking crazy person in as well. So there was that reason why I came up with Cobain and put the C to K, Cobain, and then yeah, I just thought it just rolled off the tongue nicely as well. Like, it just sounds nice, it just sounds smoother, it's more digestible than Flamingo Flex.
Yeah, exactly. And there are a number of things to take apart from that as well, actually. It's weird because back then, like, literally, if 5-6 years ago, you were to, or however many years ago, back when people like Carti and Yachty and all of those people were, before they blew up, if you were to tell me that someone going by the name of like, I don't know, just some of the dumb stuff that we used to have back then, like Made in Tokyo just sounds like who is that? That sounds like
No,
it,
facts.
it literally sounds like a friggin' I don't even know what it sounds like. It sounds like a label or something that you find on your clothes. You know what I mean? Made in Tokyo. It
No,
just
facts.
sounds so it's like
It sound like a high-end fashion brand made in Tokyo type
to be
shit.
fair, it does because all of these Japanese fashion brands, they're up right now. They're trendy. So it's
Yeah,
like, yeah,
no
everyone's
fact.
talking about like the Issey Miyakis and the needles and all of that stuff. So
Oh yeah,
yeah. But yeah, Flamingo Flex, that's to be fair,
that's an
that fits
interesting.
in with I could imagine someone called Flamingo Flex blowing up back in like the clout era, you know what I mean?
Yeah, oh yeah, Clout Goggle era, all of that. That was me for a bit then. Flexo Kobain is now the next generation. You know, like Kanye, you see that like photo of Kanye is like there's so many generations of him. It's basically now I'm in the Flexo Kobain era. Something
Absolutely.
else will happen after.
Do you ever see your name changing again after this, considering you mentioned being in the Flexo Kobain era?
No, but I do see myself or Flexo going into many more eras in terms of um sound and creatively, yeah. I do see myself going into so many lanes and stuff like that, not just the sound I'm in now.
Yeah, exactly. It's That's interesting to hear because do you know what it is, right? Honestly, after listening to like pretty much the majority of your discography,
Mm,
the variance between what you were making back in 2020 with things like, or 2021 with things like Watch This Space and even the Deluxe, and then moving into your most recent project, the name
mm,
of which I should remember. Um,
no, that's cool. All that glitters was my most recent project. But my
uh,
recent drop was 500 degrees.
yep, All That Glitters is the one I'm thinking about. Yeah.
I mean
Um,
500 dreams, so I said 500 degrees. I listened to Wayne earlier. I was listening to Lil Wayne earlier, so I'm just confusing my own song with his. That's
j-
crazy.
honestly, man, I have respect for that. Comparing yourself with the greats, even at this point in your career, I have respect for that. But
Without,
but yeah, even like All That Glitters as well. It's like there isn't too much variance, which is interesting. I suppose it leads me on to one of my questions I had a bit later on, going into, whether you see yourself changing in the near future or what we what direction you plan on going in.
absolutely. I do plan on going in another direction. I mean, right now, people have seen me do this plug era for quite a while. Plug and be plug. In this country, it's we don't have like our blueprints, like as America, for example, even France, their plug scene is quite massive as well. But doing this has definitely been amazing. It's been a pleasure. But I do want to go into new styles. I can't really say what yet. I just want to live my life and just see the stuff I like. I know the stuff I like, and I do feel like it might even be smoother than what I've already been doing. I know you said the last recent releases they've been a bit more punchier, but no, I think I want to just do something more chilled, just more vibesy, just music everyone can listen to, man. Just yeah.
So a bit of pop stuff, a bit of like is that like a shaking head like no, or is it a shaking head like I don't know?
We'll see. Therefore, I can't confirm yet because I don't know myself. You know what I mean? I really don't know myself, but I like how you notice. I do want to go into a new era, so that
Yeah.
would be sweet. I just don't know what yet. Just go live my life and see, record as much possible, and just don't rush it. I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
don't rush nothing.
New experiences in life really do bring about new types of music from people. Like, I mean, even we were just talking about Lil Yachty just then. Like, that guy has clearly gone away and experienced life for himself, and he's come
Mm,
back and given us something that's a completely different direction to
mm,
what anyone would have expected from him previously. So
no
it's
doubt, no doubt. It's interesting to see Yachty, man. He's done his thing and progressed, and it's not just Yachty as well. Like one of my favorites, Tyler the Creator, he did that stuff as well. Growing up, I would listen to his music and be like, what is this, bro? What is this guy saying? And then I grew into loving it, and it was amazing. It was so beautiful at the time when everything was so like, there was no filter for like stuff like this. There was no real cancel culture, and because you could say certain stuff, and the music that backed up the artist was beautiful enough for people to not really want to cancel them, and they allowed artists to grow. And I feel like people don't allow people to grow no more. It's like once they see you've done this, I'm not saying that cancel culture shouldn't exist, but I'm just saying that certain things and certain ways how people are, it limits artists from actually elevating.
Yeah.
But no, Tyler the Creator definitely he's been one of the most amazing transitions in this, as well as Yachty for sure, no doubt.
Yeah, I do definitely think there needs to be a not necessarily that cancel culture shouldn't exist, but there needs to be sort of a reformation in the culture. And I think the mob culture because I don't know if you have TikTok yourself. You are on TikTok, aren't you? Yeah. You'll be scrolling through TikTok, and before you've even formulated an opinion on a video, you're already scrolling the comments. And it's like how often do you go on TikTok, right? You see a video and you click the comments and there's just no comments and you get pissed off.
Yeah, that always pisses me off. Or like when you go onto like a video and it's just like bare negative comments. It's just every comment is a negative comment. Or like sometimes that's like on Instagram as well. It's like when people do those paid ads and then like, you see the comments and it's like, this is fucking shit. It's trash. But it's like, bro, that's my man's art. That's what he's paid money for. And
exactly.
Saying this shit.
It's different when it's like you post something and you use a bunch of hashtags and people get hates on it. But if I've paid like what the £100, the however much pounds to get this promoted to however many people, and however many people have commented on it, just hating, just like, oh, this is trash, I'm deleting everything. I'm damn near deleting myself because that's insane. I don't know what I would do in that situation.
No, I wouldn't. I could never delete myself. Actually, that would. I feel like someone like me, that will motivate me as fuck, bro. Like I'll go crazy with seeing all that hate. Nah, I'm gonna be in your face every day. In fact, I'm gonna up the adverts every single day, bro. Like, there's no way people are gonna hate on my tenure, and then I'm just gonna leave because that means I'm doing something right. I'm in your face, and it's like, I feel like at this point, what even is bad? Bad is so subjective. Being
That's
a bad
very real, man.
Now these days, like I feel like even though there are bad artists, like even the bad ones we thought that were bad, like now they're being perceived as good. So it's crazy. I just feel like you can push through any blockage in this thing. You know what I mean? You can push through any blockage.
I suppose we digressed a bit, but yeah, in terms of like mob culture and all of that, I think it is like no one seems to want to have their own opinion in this day and age. No one wants to stand out. Everyone wants to stand out and be a main character, but no one wants to be the first to do it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I think that is so prominent that people don't even see no more. Is that everybody believes the main leader, the main character, and it's just that main character syndrome that everyone has, but they're not that guy, man. They're not that guy.
They're not the leader of the group.
They are not. They thought they was on the team. They're not on the team, fam. They're not that guy. They're not that guy at all. I promise. It's crazy. It's so crazy.
Exactly, man. Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about. So we'll go back a bit to your name. Sonically, Nirvana is a lot different to the type of music you create. Plug and B/plug. Would you say that you have an interest in the rock genre as a whole, or is it just Nirvana? And can we go into a bit more detail about that?
No, I love rock music, bro. I love a lot of genres, I'll be real, because I produce as well. And I grew up in a house that listened to music so much. Like my mom listened to high life and R&B, Fuji music, rap. Like my dad loved jazz as well a bit. But my cousins, they always listen to grime. So whenever I go to South, they'll always put me on the grime shit when I was a kid. Everything. Yeah. Channel AKA, I'd always watch it at the house. I remember. But no, I feel like My inspirations stretch not just from rock, but definitely from a lot of other genres. I'd say mostly soul and R&B. People can hear that prominently in the music, as well as that being such an influence for plug and B. You can hear that inspiration into plug and B, like R&B and soul. But definitely rock is something I definitely might want to do one day. At least I want to make some crazy shit like that, because even in plug and B, there's a sub-genre called Asian rock, and basically Asian rock is like it's like if you were to take trap, rock, and like the leads from like plug and B and make it very ambient and slow. Like that shit's beautiful, and I love that type of stuff. And yeah, I can see myself making more of that type of stuff, and I do have some of that type of stuff I should drop. Yeah,
I have to respect that because it's so important for producers and people who make music in general to listen to music outside of their own genre.
no
'Cause-
doubt you have to. Like it's like if you're not inspiring yourself, you're not inspiring yourself like on like many levels. I don't know how you as an artist can grow. You don't have to listen to mad genres, but like even if you're not like reading and you're not really visually grasping anything, yeah, how are you saying you're a serious artist? Like, and some people will say they don't do these things, but they do it and they just don't know that they do it. They do grasping and they do take in different things because they need to, and your body needs to in order for you to grow, right? You need these nutrients, so you can't take in these nutrients. There's no way you're gonna grow. So I always make sure I try and do other things and go to art shows, go to this performance, or listen to this type of music. I'm always trying to listen to and vibe to new stuff.
yeah, exactly. What would you say as of recent, what would you say is something that's definitely caught your interest a lot, whether it could be music or music related or art related or anything? What recently has piqued your interest as a creator?
Vinland Saga 2, season 2. That shit beautiful. Shout out to my nigga Thorfinn, bro. I'm Thorfinn. I have battle scars as well. But that's the most amazing anime right now. I know people say Blue Lock, but Blue Lock is calm. I just need to catch up with that. Then I'll make my decision on that. But yeah, right now, I'd say anime. I don't really feel like music has influenced me that much. I'll be real. Like, but as of recent, it hasn't influenced me at all. I haven't really gone, yeah, like this sound is inspiring me. This, I feel like other things outside of music are just inspiring me, like art and just TV, going outside, meeting people, and going new places as well, for sure.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. And do you know what's crazy? It's interesting you mentioned Vinland Saga because I haven't seen a single episode of that, but I swear people have been talking about how dead this recent season is. That's all
Whoa,
I've been hearing. People have been
you said
talking
that,
about, oh, Vinland Saga's been so
bugging.
slow this season. Da, 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 da. People have been gassing Blue Lock, though. I'll say that.
No, the bugging saying is dead. It's not dead at all. And if you read the manga as well, you'll find out like it gets crazy still. It gets mad crazy.
Manga
But
fans always
Blue
love to
Lock
say
is on.
stuff like that. Manga fans always like, oh, but just wait and see. Like, it's always
Just
the same.
wait. Honestly, just wait and see. I promise. That's what makes a great anime as well. Like if they were to feed us everything we wanted to see in the first episodes, it'd be fun. Like, you know what I mean? Like you would love it. You would love it. You digest it so much. But sometimes the slow burner animes are nicer than just the animes that like you watch here and it's just like straight action.
To be fair, I feel that. Yeah, I feel that because yeah, I was talking to this one guy. He was
Mm,
talking about seven deadly sins and how it takes so long for
mm,
like so much of it. It might have been Naruto or Dragon Ball Z or whatever. One of those ones where it's
mm.
just like episodes upon episodes upon episodes of just people just chit chat, chin wagging, fam. And it's like, when are these guys gonna scrap? You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I
Yeah,
understand the importance of storyline, and I suppose it just once it gets to the crux of it, once people start getting their hands dirty, it just makes it that much more impactful. So
no doubt, no doubt. The same aspects could be put towards music as well.
absolutely, yeah. Now that you say that, because you get all these progressive rock albums that are like 45, like In the Court of the Crimson King is what, like seven songs long, but it's like 45. I don't know if you're familiar with that album, but it's like 45 minutes long. It's That shook me when I first saw that as well. It's like,
no, I hear that. That's like Fear Factor as well. They've done like some 20 plus track EPs, LPs, sorry, and even what's their name? I think Alice in Chains has done some weird stuff like that as well. But a couple bands have done that, but I think that was normal back then as well. We have to remember music comes from we're going to like a new period now where it's like music is digested in such a different way where it's just singles. People want to digest singles, or if you're making an EP, or it can't be more than 6 songs because ain't nobody finna listen to that.
Exactly.
But if back then in like them days, people was listening to tapes, they were buying CDs to listen to a favorite rapper, favorite rock bands, favorite singers, artists. So now that type of stuff's changed, and you just got to deal with it.
I want to talk a little bit about your ventures as an artist. So you do work as a vocalist through raps and also melodic stuff, singing as well. But you also produce under the name Egyptian, stylized with an X and a V in there. Sorry, hieroglyphics, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so like the ASAP Space Coast Pub with basically the old cloud rap days,
Exactly, man. Yeah, and I mess with it. Honestly, it's hard. And
appreciate it.
I want to talk a bit about how you got into production. I know that your mom sort of like. By the way, actually, where are you from? By the way,
I'm Nigerian, so my real name is Oluwatimilen, and it means like I think what God is by me or something like that. But yeah, basically I'm Nige. I'm from Ijebu and Yoruba. I'm Yoruba. I'm not Igbo. Everyone says I'm Igbo, but I'm Yoruba.
Sure, I don't know the difference myself. I'm from Zimbabwe, so why?
Pick up.
But yeah, you mentioned that your mum got you like guitars and took you to like community center and all of that in the past. Would you say that that's how you got into production, or is there a deeper story? Is there more than that, or?
Nah, it's literally my mom. Like from young, she was passionate in making me like, I would say not even just academically bright, but musically bright. She would buy me like guitars, pianos. She would make me go dance classes. Like she would make me like do clubs after school. So basically, she bought me acid music. No, she took me to like a youth club. Sorry. I think I was in like year 8 or year 9, and it was cool, but I wasn't really feeling it. But I just was, I was young. I just didn't care. I just cared about playing PS3 or PS whatever. Then left that, and then I came back to producing in sixth form. Once I'd found that type beats on YouTube, like in like sixth form, I was just on YouTube. I was like, what is this? And then started making beats on Acid Music Studio. Once I started making beats on Acid Music Studio, I was like, nah, this is terrible. I need to get better. So did some research, found out FL Studio was the one. I did like an apprenticeship, started making money from the apprenticeship to fund myself. I bought FL Studio, and then boom.
That stuff is expensive. FL Studio,
No
FL
cap, it is,
Studio,
man.
Ableton as well. I swear to you. The thing is, I've heard that if they catch you like pirating their stuff, then you're done essentially as a musician. Basically, all that profit you make with that.
No, it's true. I mean, I don't have to pay no more because I've bought it before, so I can just get the lifetime update type thing. And that's what I'd encourage everyone to do, really and truthfully. I'd say the only thing you really need to like crack, if you really need to crack it, is drum kits. Like, unless if you can just get someone to send them to you. But other than that, you don't really need to crack too much stuff. Like everything's out there. The internet is so huge.
Exactly, man. Sort of going back to my original statement about you singing and rapping in your tracks. Would you, from this day forward, let's say someone comes up to you, they're like, listen, you can only sing or rap in your tracks from today forward. Which one are you choosing?
I'll choose wait, sing or rap?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that's a tough one. I'd say I'll choose producing. I'll choose to make beats forever.
Producing, okay. Do you know what? You can make the rules here, right?
Yeah, I can. I'll choose to make beats because making beats, you are like so much more part of like the building and create the creative building of like, you know, an actual song, an actual project, any idea that comes to someone's brain, they need the producer to make it work. And I'd want to just do that. If I could do that, cool. I wouldn't need to rap or produce because I'll just be around the singers, and then I could even do a little ghostwriting myself, so I wouldn't even have to do too much. So I still help them in some way. But that's my answer to your question, for sure.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, and it's crazy how much work producers and how much production can shape a project. It can make or break a project, you know. Metro Boomin has made so many essentially classic albums. I think what three classic
Yeah.
albums, maybe before he did that one with 21 Savage, didn't he? Without saying a single word on them.
Mm.
And yeah, it's crazy to think about for real.
No, it's true still. I actually wanna with like producing as well, I wanna like do this type of stuff. So I wanna make like tapes with like just one-on-one with artists. I wanna do that stuff. But I wanna be like cooking up for them in the booth type thing. But yeah, that's definitely correct. Metro Boomin, he's done his thing.
Yeah, exactly. Which one would you say you find easiest to do? I suppose the question potentially answers itself maybe with your previous answer, but I don't know, I'm just curious.
What you mean as producing or rapping?
Producing or rapping or singing, which one would you say is easiest for you to make something
Um,
listenable with?
I really feel they're all easy though, because I feel like they're all easy in their own way. Like producing your you know your that you're creating an idea. With rapping, I'm loading a beat and you know letting the engineer do the work. And same thing as singing in it. I feel like singing it depends sometimes when you're trying to find the key. If you're using auto tune, you know, it might take you a bit of a minute to try to find the key if you don't know the key or certain shit like that. But I say producing is you know probably the easiest. But I like doing every single thing.
Yeah. To be fair, producing's all right. Like I think once you find the right melody, if you've got a tune in your head already, then you know, then again, I don't know. Like I'm on the fence about it all myself,
Mm.
just simply based on the fact that sometimes the stuff just doesn't hit the way you want it to hit. You know what I mean? So
Nah, no doubt. I hear that still. Is it really just depends on how like in tune your ear is like to the melody you have in mind. Because it's easy for us to forget melodies as well. That's why sometimes if you like voice record yourself or voice record the melody, you can maybe just translate that more into your final idea.
yeah, exactly. Absolutely, man. I want to talk a bit about I suppose, your most recent project as a producer, Blood in the Sand. First of all, how did you come up with the name Blood in the Sand? Because that's a pretty serious name for a EP.
Um, I feel like there's more history to being Egyptian, and there's more history to the identity of Egyptian. So essentially, the Blood in the Sand project resonates with myself, me being the blood, and the sand being the music scene. I'm placing my blood into the sand and putting my heart and effort into the sand. Um, and with every grain of sand, I want to cover it. I want to make sure that I'm putting my blood in it and put my passion into it. So, Blood in the Sand being my first project was just 8 songs, um, you know, on my all self-produced by me, mixed by my friend Lord Unknown, who is also another producer artist in this scene. Also featuring Lord Sujin as well, and the art was done by DJ Luki. But yeah, Blood in the Sand is quite a heavy name, but it's again it just resonates with more so like cyberstep, which is a word I would say constructed, which resonates with people within this matrix, you know, who have you know defeated the matrix in their own way and who are still defeating the matrix in their own way and living within this dimension in their own way. So sometimes I meet and come across people and I'm like, yeah, that's cyberstep. So
That's crazy, yeah. And it's interesting because it's interesting you mentioned the genre of cyberstep because it definitely doesn't sound the same as some of your work as Flexo Kobain. You know what I mean? Like it definitely sounds different to that. And yeah, I was struggling to figure out what genre it was myself. Like honestly, the most I could come up with was just hip hop. But then again, there's so many different subgenres in
mm,
hip hop. So you know, but
yeah, I'd say it's very cybery, very alternative. If some girl was listening to it. She said the other day, she said, it gives Y2K. I guess, I don't know. It's
Wait, what does that even mean though?
I feel like it's like futuristic-y, basically. Like cybery, Matrix type vibes. Like, I don't know. It is, man.
Honestly, I'm impressed by the fact that she wasn't scared, because definitely, like, I don't know if you know of JPEG Mafia and people like that, but they literally dropped an album the other day just called "Scaring the Hoes." So
yeah, I've heard of it. I ain't listened to it yet though, but I've definitely seen that on my TO.
It's definitely up there. I'd recommend listening to it for real. Yeah,
no doubt.
But yeah, I want to talk a little bit about your verse on Takeshi's Castle from that project. You make reference to numerous cartoon characters over that beat in your verse. I hope it's your verse and not the other guy who's featured on that track's verse.
It's not. It's mine. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, people like Johnny Bravo. I'm pretty sure you mentioned SpongeBob at some point. Two opposing forces there almost, because obviously we've got Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. Who were you leaning more towards as a whole, as a sort of like dealer of cartoon entertainment?
I love this question still. I want to say Cartoon Network gets the win, but SpongeBob holds a huge place in my heart. Like, I am the SpongeBob fanatic, bro. Like, I'm a bigger SpongeBob fan than Ice Spice. When I meet Ice Spice, I'll tell her straight I'm a bigger fan than you. But no, 100%. I feel like Cartoon Network just had too many bangers, bro. Like, when you're up late, yeah, you can watch Skatoony. They had Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh,
they had
Skatoony, you know.
They had that shit. They had Cramp Twins. They had Powerpuff Girls. They had Rugrats. Nickelodeon had Rugrats. They had Shaolin Showdown. They had a couple bangers, man. I can't lie. I think Cartoon Network takes the win for me still.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, Cartoon Network was that thing, but nah. Do you know what, SpongeBob? Yeah, actually, I'm trying to think what cartoons were on Nickelodeon. Had like Spider-Man and stuff like that, though. I swear. And
I think the only reason why Nickelodeon was amazing is because they had all the stuff that the Schneider productions, like Drake and Josh and stuff like that. So growing up, when we was bumping Drake and Josh, those are the times, man.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah. Nah, do you know what? You've pitched it pretty nicely. You've pitched Cartoon Network pretty nicely, because honestly, I haven't thought about Skatoony in so many years, and you've just taken me back to, like, I don't even know, 2009 or something. This is crazy. That's crazy, man.
Bro, big up Cartoon Network, man.
All I remember is going on that website and just banging out the games, man. There was It was the Ed and Eddie one where you'd be racing and you build up the carts and just like destroy people.
I think there was a Johnny Test one as well. I think so. I remember there was a Johnny Test game as well. But no, Cartoon Network is winning, man. I'm sorry, it's too clear. It's way too clear. Another classic one is Jetix as well. If you remember Jetix,
Jetix was the one.
They had Galactic Football, so
Galactic Football was so. They had. Do you know what it was, right? The one that got me, and the one that I used to be so embarrassed to even talk about, was Totally Spies.
I was never embarrassed to talk about that. In fact, whenever you told the girls back then that you watched Totally Spies, they'll be like, "No way, yeah, I've watched your Totally Spies. That show was fire as hell, bro." I was like, "Yo, what?"
Totally Spies is one of the hardest shows out there. I swear to you, it was so sick.
No, for real.
It was styling as well, fam. The gadgets, yeah, like with the friggin' flip-up mirror. It's crazy.
Nah, for real. It's classic. It's a classic. I definitely have a lot of more cartoon references in my music, just because I love nostalgia like that, and I'm like, I need to make sure people remember certain things. You're just gonna hear Skatoony bar one day, you're gonna be like, what? But you're gonna remember Skatoony now, and then
exactly. So your list of collaborations on Spotify, from what I saw, just taking a scroll, is pretty extensive. I want to know who you think we should be keeping an eye out in particular for in the next few years.
That's a good question. That's a deep question, still. Which Spotify were you looking at? What, the Flexo?
Yeah, Flexo, yeah. Although I suppose as Egyptian as well, you'd have quite a few collaborations.
Yeah, because it differentiates. Honestly, say check out my friends Miley Allen, Lord Unknown, Lord Sujin, Basky. Check out myself. Still check out myself. Check out AP the Goat. I think those people are gonna be doing a lot of melodic music within the UK. Check out OG Kemi. Check out Callisto. Check out Bib. I think he's cool. Check out Pierre. He's cool. Damn, I feel like I'm missing names. Check out. Did I say Lord Unknown, Lord Sujin? Shit.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Don't know, man. I think there's a couple people coming up, man. There's definitely a couple people coming up, but
yeah.
There's just so many names and so many. I feel like I'd have to run to my Spotify real quick and check.
Yeah, it is a lot of familiar names, even for me, that you've just mentioned. And it's crazy how the London underground scene is so connected. Like everyone knows each other or knows of each other, at least in the scene. It's crazy.
No doubt. Everyone's connected in their own little way in this web. It's like a big spider web. We all kind of connected to each other.
Everyone's connected, man. Exactly, yeah. Cool. So we've talked about which artists you think we need to take a look out for. I want to know what we can expect next to see from Flexo Kobain. So what can we look out for from Flexo in the next couple of years, or even in the next few months?
Yeah, I'm dropping singles up until basically my tape, which is Watch This Space 3. I'm gonna drop singles for that project soon, which is the final trilogy of Watch This Space, which will end it completely and that'll be the last thing. But that will come within, the September, October period. It'll be an autumn project, so expect warmer sounds, soothing sounds. That's like the lovey-dovey season or whatever. So trying to feed that type of music around that time. But right now, I'm just gonna drop singles, have fun. Just make some bangers and just have fun. Yeah.
Yeah, man, for real, yeah. And yeah, you heard it here first, guys. That's What's the Space 3 coming out soon. But yeah, and from Egyptian, can we expect anything coming out soon, or is it
Oh, definitely. I've got some stuff. I've got Old Roses coming out, which it will be a double EP featuring Kibo and Lord Sujin on the same song, but two different versions of the same song. So that'll be really, really cool to drop. That'll be in spring, most likely end of April. After that, I have my next tape, which will be Cairo Blue. It will be similar to Blood in the Sand, but more chilled. I know Blood in the Sand, like you said, it was a lot of punchier stuff. It was more, engaging and stuff. I think Cairo Blue will be more smoother. So it'll be more like smooth sounds, sample sounds. People can digest it way more and just vibes to it, man. It's a summer project, so just gonna be chilling.
Exactly, man. I have to rate your work ethic as well, because honestly, the amount of stuff that you're putting out is crazy, especially of the quality that is. So I appreciate you, man. I have to give you some flowers there.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. No worries, honestly. Cool. So I do have just one more question before I let you go on your way. It's a question that I ask literally everyone, and yeah, let's just get into it. You are heard by literally everyone on Earth for 10 seconds. What do you say?
Damn, that's a crazy question. I feel like the right thing to do would be to promo music, innit? It's so silly. I could end up I feel like if that actually happened in real life, I'd end up saying something silly. Like I'd just say something so dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
When Kanye hopped on TV one time, he was like, George Bush didn't kill black people. That'd be something stupid. I'd be like, yo, I don't know. I'll probably just say, yo, run up Flexo Kobain on all platforms now, immediately. if you don't, bro, I'm putting a flipping spell on you. Some dumb shit. I don't know.
And people would believe it as well because they'd be like, "Where is his voice coming from?"
Nah, for real, shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's real, man. Honestly, I have to rate that because not many people do that. A lot of people just try to be like, "Oh yeah, love each other." Da, 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 da. Like, come on, we all know what you would.
I'll be like, yo, the world is about to end. You better run my music up. I need to blow the fuck up.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah, man. And then just like freaking beep just at the end or whatever, you know.
Thanks.
But yeah, that's cool, man. I have to rate that. And you know, I think that's a good place to end off this episode as well. So yeah, listeners, watchers of the IshPlusSix podcast, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for engaging. And yeah, Flexo, do you have anything you'd like to say as Flexo or Egyptian? Let us know.
I just want to say shout out to you, Ish, for the interview. Shout out to everyone who's listening, and yo, just keep making sure you support the guys, support me, support every single one of us. We're working really hard to make sure our dreams come true. That's it. Love, exactly. Peace and love always also.
Exactly. Peace and love to everyone, for real. And yeah, listeners, watchers, make sure you guys all go check out Flexo's most recent project. Make sure you go check out Egyptian's most recent project, Blood in the Sand, my personal favorite tracks. The Nightclub Never Closes in Dystopia, Takeshi's Castle, of course, and Red Bean Dream. Make sure you guys go check it out on all platforms. And I will see you later, alligators.